Wagwan Two Tone Podcast.
Amlak
Yes, sir.
from Amlak Tafari from Steel Pulse. Welcome to the Two Tone Podcast.
All right.
Straight from England.
I'm just raising up and lowering and this and that. How's that? That good?
It's good. Listen, I heard you have a birthday coming up. Birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah. I am going to be the princely sum in the total accumulative of 60.
How
Wow.
much you say? How much did you say?
We never did that talk no Jamaican. We say 60.
Oh, 60.
60.
Oh,
60. Oh,
oh, that's very good, man.
knockout.
All right.
Parabéns
Congratulations.
para mí, parabéns.
I'm not gonna speak any part to you because I would like the audience to understand you. Because if me not say that, them wouldn't understand where I go on. You see me? Now, the question, my sir, what month were you born?
Is that a trick question? Well, my birthday is on Monday. I was born in the month of January. It is
Okay.
within the Gregorian calendar. It's the start of the year. Number one.
You have a big event, right? So who are you sharing your birthday with?
Well, MLK, baby. All right, Martin Luther King Days.
All right.
Today that
Big,
get
big,
his
big.
keys as well. He gets his
Yeah.
keys first.
I heard a rumor you got Don Carlos.
Listen, what it is, not just Don Carlos, Pato Banton.
Oh,
What it is
yes.
for me, we're always giving thanks for life. And within my reggae journey, which I'm going to be doing a talk called From Hansard to Hollywood, which chronicles my life and my reggae journey. Yeah. And a section of my reggae journey started with Pato Banton.
Wow.
Started long before. But with regards to Amlak Tafari being in the US of A
Yeah.
and starting to make friends and touring and music, etc. It actually started in 1989 when I first went to the United States of America, right,
Mm.
courtesy of Pato Banton,
Mm.
right? And it was Pato Banton and the Reggae Revolution. But when I
Okay.
first went to the United States, 1989, I was actually Pato's guitarist, right? I was not on the bass,
Wow.
right? I did the touring at that time, returned to the UK, and in 1992, I think, 1989 or 81, 81, I think 81, I returned to the US as the bass guitarist for Pato Banton.
Wow.
So that's the significant thing there. Though, as I'm celebrating my 60th, we are celebrating my
See.
60th and our relative years, you know. I thought it was only right that I should contact Pato Banton,
Yeah.
because he was the first one who introduced me to the US. With regards to Don Carlos, in 2000, I think it was, we did a DVD live in San Francisco, and I was bassist for Don Carlos. And that DVD, though may not be known to many in the US, but that DVD has been seen by so many people around the world. There's not a country I've been to where somebody doesn't say, "You're the one from the Don Carlos DVD." They see me come off stage with steel post, but you're the one for the Don Carlos DVD. Right? And that DVD in American reggae
Mm.
shaped the sound and the image and the tone and the movement of many a musician,
Mm.
right? And still being played till this day, still being referred to this day as one of the greatest DVDs, right? And it was a contributions from the whole band, and I'd say at the time, and like Don and I talk about this DVD a lot. Even up to a couple of years ago, I was touring with Revolution, big up, and the tour manager came to me and said, "Hey, I was just seeing some DVD, and the boys are playing some DVD on the bus, and Say you in a karate suit, man? Whoa, that you know what I mean? And what's that a lollipop? Everybody want to know. What was it in my mouth? Well, I don't know. I'll reveal on my birthday party. But that DVD was and is still, you know, a beacon. People gravitate towards that DVD and they look at the interaction done on myself, and you know, it definitely influenced a generation 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, you're
So
an unforgettable bass player. You know, I saw you at Brook and Bowl. You know, you're a f- let me see. The word is something of its own.
that's
Ace
equated to
Master.
right, Cooley. Cooley, I
Yeah.
rub it, man. Cooley is doing the management, so the more you talk, the more Cooley say, yes, man, talk it up. Percentage. Thank you very much, sir.
You are a spotlight of its own. Like it's just on you. Even though there's things going on the stage, you captivate the audience by yourself with your playing, your movement, your interaction. Is I saw you. You know, I know you didn't see me, but me see you.
Well,
Very, very good. Very, very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I
Did you
can
see when
explain.
Amlak jumped off the stage? He jumped off the
On the
stage.
stage, off the stage, yeah, it was everything was. I mean, love David. I'm sorry, but I love you too. But that was the first time I saw you. That's the first time I saw you.
Listen, man. You're trying to listen.
I mean,
David
no one get
Hines, I
fired.
will have look, I will have you know, right? Steel Pulse. Me come from, well, my family come from Jamaica, we die England. I
Right.
grew up in England, right? I was
Okay.
actually born in Handsworth, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, straight up. When our families, well, a little brief history, right? Right, our families, the Caribbean people, right, who the English had a vested interest in from slavery times, they needed a workforce to rebuild the infrastructure and such forth. So they called upon British um, subjects, we say, right, from that time. So they needed people to come to work to help to rebuild the infrastructure. Many men had died in the war efforts, and many resources were depleted. So they needed a labor force, right? So
Speaking of
henceforth,
the
they called.
Windrush generation,
Absolutely correct, sir.
I born
So
in
call.
England, you know. I born in England too. Yeah,
You're
me
not
born
born
in
in England,
Fully,
London.
what have you just
fully
you say
breaking the rules.
born in England, I mean you're more
Sorry, I was
English than
born in England. Sorry.
Very
you wanna claim England for born in England, but me born in England. You see, you know, so we our parents' generation, which was called the Windrush generation, um, because of a ship, right, that was first started taking people from the Caribbean, which was HMS Windrush. It wasn't the only ship, but that was the more popular one because the first wave, right, of people coming in from the Caribbean came on the Windrush, and I think Southampton, I think, or something. But so then that was the beginning. But that's the reason why there was a major influx of Caribbean people with a British English, right, association came over to England. Say if it was France or wherever else, then it would have been Martinique and all the people from the French side. But this is the reason why we came. Jamaican, Grenadian, Saint Kitts, Trinidadian, Tobago, Barbadian, and the British speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So I grew up in a place called Handsworth. The only reason I grew up in Handsworth, it was tradition for and our parents had children, send them back to Jamaica. England wasn't the place to be raising Caribbean children back in the time. It's cold as heck. Global warming is real. I testify to that. Me live long enough to tell you. All right. And, you know, also they were here to work. They weren't here to the racism, the discrimination, the prejudice was so it was not the place. So, you know, kids got sent home to Jamaica, especially a lot of them were sickly. So this climate was not conducive to good health from what we were accustomed to. So many kids were sick and they get sent home, come back later on when the parents then, you know. So like my brother got sent home. Some of my sisters never came in the first place, you know. But by the time I was born, our parents had, you know, settled themselves enough. There was more work. They decided to stay longer because everybody
Mhm.
only came for 5 years initially.
Mm.
Right? And so when I was born, they said, right, we got it sussed. You can stay here. With the trips to Jamaica, of course, etc. But you can stay here, you can be schooled here. And I stayed there, I was schooled here right up to my masters, you know. And then
Wow.
music brought me out. But that's the whole thing about and when I was starting to mention about David Hines and stuff, Steel Pulse, Selwyn and David are 9 years older than myself. So like if you look in music, that's like two generations. If you look at California with the rise of reggae, right, that generation is only 4 years. That's my PhD stuff. So 4 years, 8 years, them guys are 9 years. I was cutting out pictures of meditations, Twinkle Brothers, Steel Pulse in my scrapbook.
Mm.
I wasn't even a musician. I never knew that I would embark upon this career, but I was a fan. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? You know,
Mm.
remember the good old scrapbook back in the days? They cut it
Oh
out
yeah.
and pictures from Black Echoes and Enemy and all this. Yeah, so I'm not even living the dream because I never dreamed of it. People say you're living the dream, but
Wow.
I never. We just follow two things: music and Rasta for I. Not change. So me
Yeah.
not living the dream. You know, I dream of
Reality.
other things. I would like to and aspire to other things, but the career that has been bestowed upon me, I'm not living the dream. I'm just following the path.
So
Straight.
how did you meet David Hines and Steel Pulse? How did you get in the band? Was that audition?
Oh yeah, well I had done a brief stint with the chaps because the all knowing, all rise, all bow to Alvin Ewing, the bass player before me. In fact, Steel Pulse only had three bass players. First was Stepper, and Stepper came with the most prolific bass lines. He set the pace, right? He set the foundation for everybody and everything in 7 years. Even though we're 50 years old, 7 years. After Stepper was Alvin Ewing. I grew up on a road called Mayfield Road, which is Bottom and Zert. You have Top and Zert, you have Bottom and Zert. We come from Bottom and Zert, yeah. And Mrs. Ewing, Alvin's mom, lived across the street. So Alvin
Oh.
is a few years older than me as well. So when him what you call it, boys scout, cause we used to go to the club and then me a boy scout, him have on
Mm.
tall pants, me have on short pants. And so it's remained with regards to our career and his skill and expertise, right? Him still have on the tall pants and me have on the short pants. Manners and respect to Alvin Ewing, who was 22 years,
Mm.
right, with Steel Pulse, right? And they like with bands and families, there's things that change, temperaments, vision, creativity. So so people go their separate ways ultimately. And so at the time when there was a transition, I was in England, right? I'd already had a career with Pato and well, I had a long career before Pato. I was Luciana, Barry Hammond, um, what were people? Itals, Congos, Wailing Souls. I already had a lot of stuff going on from before. So it's when that transitioning was happening, I happened to be around at that time.
Mm.
So I got a call, right? And we figured a few things out and, you know, here I am.
You said something that resonates. You said that I'm not living the dream because I never dreamt of it. So how does that play a part in your life, the Rasta vision?
With the Rasta vision,
Yeah.
um, mm,
With meditation and just taking things for what it is and accepting.
yeah, yeah. Well, you see, acceptance is a thing. You see, in this time, you see, Rasta always talk about, man for know themselves and thing. That is a mantra of Rastafari from long time. You for know yourself. Yeah. When you know yourself, you know you have control over how you reacting turns into responding. You see what I'm saying? When you know yourself, you know how to control a climate, which was roaring and rain and anything could be what you know, say, you know. So, in terms of like I don't know. It's a hard question and an easy question still. You know, the dream, like my dreams was to make sure my mother all right. That was one of my dreams. I know that dream from me young. Yeah. All them time me I practice this and that and me in the bedroom playing music and this and that. We come from answer. My dream is one day make sure say my mother all right. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Same.
before having kids or anything like that. So those are the things as a dream. Right? With Rastafari is always a reality. There's no dream. Now, if there was kind of like a dream, because Rasta always sing about Africa and such forth and such forth, I will say that I did live kind of a dream or something came to fruition when the first time I went to Africa. Right? I remember returning to England after such a experience. And I remember being on a dance, standing up and then put on Aswad. Yeah,
Which one? Warrior?
move your ass. Yeah, the Africa tune. And at that point, I remember saying to myself, damn, I just did that. It happened. So for every Rasta man, have a vision, and certain things come to reality, come to fruition. But nothing else was a dream. Everything just real, just happened. In England, we got a TV program, call it Top of the
Yeah.
Pops.
Yes.
That's the big show in the UK. So
Yeah,
whenever you're
so
a
Top
kid,
of
they
the
say,
Pops
"Oh,
is
play
like
music."
American Bandstand over like how we had American Bandstand. Top of the Pops is like that in England. Dala.
Yeah. So whenever you say, "Oh, I'll play some music," they go, "Oh, we're gonna see you on Top of the Pops one day." Ha 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 ha. But when we're up on Top of the Pops, the ha ha done. I be a autograph. MTV. All these type of things. It's like I never. For example, right, my brethren, who I'm going to mention, right, I'm not going to say his name, right, but he will remember when we were teenagers. He came to me. He came to my house and said, "Yo, Amlak, come look on this black sports car with a red stripe." I'm like, "All right, dude." He said, "Yeah, man." I said, "Come inside and look at this." And I had my first headless bass guitar. It wasn't a Steinberg. It was like a copy of that. But, it's what I could afford, right? And it was a black bass with red dots. I said, "Man, that car going to take you around the world." No, I said, "That car going to take you around England and London and everything." But my bass going to take me around the world. I didn't really think it was.
Wow.
That's a great story. Yeah.
And that brethren is my article brethren from then till now. We're
Wow.
nice, and he is around the world with his
You know,
business and stuff like.
it's funny. I was telling Cooley earlier, your car is going to take you around Brooklyn, but my camera will take me around the world.
Man, me not.
That's a cool
it,
line,
it
man.
it resonates, but the camera don't take you around the world. It's what
Oh,
you do with it.
man.
It's the
Listen,
creativity within, right?
Yeah,
And what you,
true.
the energy that you generate, where people say, "Wow, I like what you did. Come here and do that."
Mm.
It's not the equipment, it's the energy flow. What you
mhm.
put in and what the people receive, so then want to reciprocate. And it's the same thing with the instrument. It don't well, my bass guitar looks damn good.
Mm.
I will say to myself. Really lovely. But if it don't play, it's just an ornament,
True. True.
you know? So it's about utilizing.
Yeah.
And then when me say Rasta, if you know yourself, you must know what you are fairly competent at, because then if you embark upon that direction, it makes your life easier. And if even if it's not dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars. Within yourself, you get the inner peace and satisfaction from what you're doing. So that's why I say, it's only now me start to really learn to know myself. Because playing from so many years, it's fun and I get to travel and this and that. But when I'm really checking, I'm really just starting to know myself within the context of what I say I do. I'm only just starting to know. Only just. I thought I knew, but I'm just starting to know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Living in Handsworth, right? That's I only know Handsworth from the songs.
Mhm.
Is it a was it a struggle to live there? Because all I
Yes.
know was like I hear revolution. That's all when I think of it, I just know Handsworth Revolution.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Pata
Brownsville
Banton did
in New
sing.
York. Eh?
Yeah, Pata Banton did sing about Hans riots as well. You know, he did a few commentary on um the opinion of what people would have looked at if they when they were looking at the news and talking about the riots and but Steel Pulse sang about Hans Revolution. In fact, when they done the song Hans Revolution, the what we consider as a revolution had not occurred. It's some
Mm.
years after,
Oh
right?
wow.
With regards to the Handsworth Revolution, right? I had no intention of being a part of. Me now run and throw a rock stone and get him. Hey! I had no intention. However, a series of events happened at that same time, and I ended up, long story short, I ended up being beaten up by the police in a situation where I was one of 6 people in the nation that they were looking for. And that only happened because we had Citizen Band radio back in the day, CBs, the crew of us. And when the riots kicked off, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I went on the radio. I said, yo, anybody see my brother? Anybody? Yeah. Right. And they took names. And um, yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into it, right? But I will tell you, um, I ended up seeing a wall, a ceiling, a other wall backwards. They grabbed me from behind, spun me around, slammed me on my face,
Oh
jumped on
Lord.
top. And when in the US they talk about I can't breathe,
Yeah.
I, I I remember that saying very well. And unfortunately, um, a man lost his life with only those few words that people remember. When I was down, I couldn't say I can't breathe because
Mm.
my windpipe blocked immediately. And I remember all the stages from fight to struggle to giving up and then acceptance.
Mm.
Because acceptance is the one where when you say, well, you don't say it, and I remember when my eyes closed and I was fighting to keep my eyes, and then I remember when I went. I only knew I'd gone because I opened my eyes again, and I struggled and yeah. So I know the stages. God have a higher plan. So fortunately, these guys was got the other guy off and da 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 da. And I also remember, like filmmaker, when they make the movies and somebody's half drowned and you can and everything's fogging, then all of a sudden they take that first breath, then they can hear. It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Because when I took my first breath, I came back to life. Now the thing
Mm.
about Answer and the revolutionary thing, I dragged myself down to the police station later on, and I was ripped up. Yeah, tear up. So chairs rocking and making noise, right? So I was ripped up. I was hurt. This it was horrible. And it was about like midnight. And when I went into the station, I was like, and the desk sergeant ran around, just he and I. He ran around to me and he said, "What happened? Sit down. What happened? Who did this here? Who was it? Who did it?" I said, "Officer, it was two of yours." And the man stood up and said, "Two?" I said, "Yes, undercover. They came." He said, "Listen, if it's one officer, it's 2 words against one. 2 officers, it's 4 against one." And he turned around and pointed to the door that I came in.
Oh,
He said, "You don't stand a chance, son."
damn.
Right? I will say, from within hour of that occurring,
Mm.
I was very instrumental in the 1985 Handsworth riots.
Mm.
Very instrumental. Yeah.
Mm.
And as many people as I saw in the riots was many different reasons. Some people were not there to riot and loot. I saw young ladies in the pharmacy getting diapers and getting baby powder and getting all sorts of things that they needed to stock up on. I saw people doing all kinds of things that they wouldn't normally do.
Should make a movie about your life, man.
Yes, maybe we
Tell
should.
me.
Yeah, somebody actually approached me on that level, but we haven't got no further, right? But obligations and stuff. But I would like to, But so that's just one story about the injustice of Hansworth. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was hard, right, in terms of the discrimination, the victimization.
Pato Banton, were you part of My Name is Pato Banton, that song?
Hey, that one,
This
he
is
did that
my
song.
opinion.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember albums or whatever. He did that song before I came in the band.
Okay.
Right? And that song, I would tell you, that is like loads of people's number one. The Marleys,
Oh yeah.
everybody's like, and this is my opinion.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's proper. It's
Yep.
proper.
It's legendary. Number two, the other question I have is I want to piggyback on what Cooley was saying with energy, right?
Yes, sir.
In your bass playing. When you're up there, like you just have a style up there that you're just having fun, and it doesn't matter what other people think. You're just rocking. People can just watch you instead of the band and still get the same entertainment, I think. I was watching you from the side and you jumped over. You just started talking to a lady next to me in the VIP. I'm like, what's this guy doing? And he started dancing around her with the bass. She got scared.
Is that the lady that you sent the pictures?
I got the photos of it, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know all her peeps are like, "Oh, you're on your own."
No, it was a good time.
I would tell you the energy. It's not. Oh gosh, all right. Listen, me love life, love everything. But to be honest, when I go on stage, the drummer goes, "Rap," I see. Uh, all right, I'll tell you the truth. What I see is a field. I'm in the forest, an open field, and then more forest. And all I imagine is I got to get from here to the other side of there to beyond, and the people shooting at me.
Mm.
And somebody says charge, and we have to run out there. Charge, and
Mm.
people are dropping left, right. I said, as far as I'm concerned, I got to make it. I got to do this. I got to do this. And that's the image that I get. With music, my induction into music never easy. Right, me get cost enough. That's another story. But when I go into action,
Yeah.
I go into action, and within the constraints of what's happening around me with the band, right, I am quite orchestrated with where I'm going, and so my my band members will know that sometime I'm out there, and they'll pretty much know because I keep it pretty uniform where I'm going. Well, mostly my tour manager's a hard time. My tour manager always has a security brief.
About Marley, you got the same style as Marley from Revolution, or he has the same style as you, bass playing. That's what I thought. What do you think?
What do I think?
I think he has the same style. You guys are both like dancing bass players, but you kind of like you do this thing where like you point the bass up into the sky and like know,
Yes, Marley is my nephew, my friend forever and ever. We're going back from Pato Banton days. They used to come to the shows and they used to
oh
come and
wow,
da 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 da.
before he was in a band.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Me and Marley going way back.
Marley Williams from Revolution, and he's I think he's from like Santa Barbara or something, California reggae guy.
Yep.
He wears cowboy hats, so he's not your stereotypical like reggae person.
Marley, right, has always been cool, always been a friend of the people, right? And he's always been a businessman. That too. And over the years, he'd say, "Yo, I'm like we're doing this. I'm working on this," and I always admire him for his business acumen. You know, and we had a chat a few years ago. We were touring, and I went on his tour bus, and we sat down in the back room in his bedroom, talking a lot of things. He said, "Man, I'm like, da 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 da." I said, "This guy's beep. Not to say shit, right? He's the shit, right? We've been coming back from a long time ago, and you know, one thing that Marley always does, he always says, Amlak, we would not have been here without you. The work that you guys did, the foundation from time, and like I said, I've been knowing him from Pato Banton days, from '89, and he's always had the respect for me, always had respect for him, and we've always come up as bass players. He's always looked up and said, I'm like, even when he started his Hill Kids venture, I remember he came to Red Rocks and he
Hill
came to
Kid,
me,
yeah,
I'm
the
like,
T-shirt company.
look, I got these for you. Get these to the guys. And yeah, he's apparel company, shirts and hats and stuff like that. He said, look, I got these for you. We've always had a great rapport. And touring together was wonderful. Every night I was on stage with them, he'd like, take off the bass, there you go. And I'm like, John, Eric. So we've always had a great rapport. And I remember one day I had an engineer from years ago. He said, "You're all up in the people and you're all friendly with people. You're just like Marty." So that's a good thing. We're people person. What do you call it? People persons? People? We're
People, yeah,
people of the people.
people person.
Yeah, Marty's cool, man. Marty's good. He's really good. And I'm proud of him, of his achievements. The whole band, I've been knowing them for a long, 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 long time. I'm proud of their what they do, how they do. They're big Don Carlos fans. And to find out about Eric's story about when you first saw Don Carlos and this. When I'm at soundcheck, they're playing Don Carlos. We all love Don Carlos. You know what I mean? So,
You're playing at the Belly Up, right?
all right, yeah. So in line with my career starting in the USA in San Diego, I used to live in San Diego also.
Really?
And so um, that's 1992, 93. I started living in San Diego. So I was there when Big Mountain was not
Oh,
called Big Mountain. Big Mountain was called Shiloh,
Oh wow.
right? And back in the day, it was just everything was different. You know what I mean? And so eventually with Pato got the keys to the city.
oh
And
wow.
our life started, we were really, really, really popular in San Diego. And then I went to lived in LA, and I'd always be going down to the Belly Up, right? With Rebel Rockers band and recording them, and because Belly Up used to have a little studio back in the day, right? And so that was the spot that, if you in the San Diego County, if you get a gig there, it's like really, really cool. It's up and close and personal, but it's also, for international bands, So I played this so many times with whoever and whoever, Steel Pulse all the time. So big shout out to Chris, right? To Steve, to Griffin. These guys have been my friends for years. Griffin's my nephew, Steve's son. And have given me an opportunity to express my thanks and my gratitude, right, for San Diego, for California, USA, and for the Belly Up, you know, at their place. And we talked about it, and we're just making it happen. So it's at the Belly Up, San Diego with Solano Beach, to be precise. Right, on the 20th of January, Martin Luther King Day. Right, and
It's a Monday, right?
special guest Pato Banton. Sorry, sir.
Monday. It's a Monday, right?
Monday. Monday. So I'm still in England right now. I still haven't booked my ticket. I gotta book my
Oh,
ticket to get over and do some
get it quick.
rehearsals and stuff, right? So I'm gonna have a whole but there's gonna be a whole bunch. I can't say the name, I cannot say the names of who's passing through, right? I can't I'm not I can't say the names of who's passing through, right? But we're gonna have some great giveaways with equipment and stuff like that. I'm gonna be giving away a recording studio, a mini recording studio, microphones, headphones, recorder. And with that giveaway, I'm going to be also giving away my knowledge, right, as a producer, right? So whoever wins that, I'll be producing their track, right? Give them some bass, give them some Jamaican style. So you get me as a producer as part of the package, right? And so if you're an experienced singer, you're whatever already, you're going to get Amlak Tafari. If you're just a come, you're going to get Amlak Tafari. If you take the thing and you don't want it, you're going to get Amlak Tafari. So it's one of those ones. There's going to be a celebrity roast, Alak Tafari.
Uh-oh.
So got a whole bunch of people getting their notes ready. Right, they're going to be roasting. And I'll be like, cool. I'll be taking notes. You said what? And you? Okay. So the roast is going to be hilarious, right? And that's going to be orchestrated by a certain other celebrity. You got to go there to see who, right? The Jamlak session is going to be off the chain. Everything's got Amlak, Jamlak. So the Jamlak session is going to be off the chain, where I have my celebrity guests, right? And a whole bunch of other people that may know each other.
Wow.
Everybody's gonna be on the stage. It's gonna be like it's gonna be fitting, quite proper.
I might have to fly out for that. Might
I
have to go out
think
there.
we might have to leave the might and just fly out. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
it's
Documented.
gonna be fitting. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be fitting
Good to know.
for sure.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited because I'm gonna do that. Catch a plane the next day, leave the 21st, arrive in England 22nd, then go 23rd to New Zealand, and
Wow.
resume the rest of my normal mundane life with Steel Pulse.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Tell you what, we not answer that. We not answer that today, brother.
No, the
No,
question is
brother.
pretty simple. The question is pretty simple.
Yes, sir.
We've heard about your love of Rastafari. We heard about your love of music. Is it a challenge to be away from home, or is it just home is where you're going, where you are?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. Like I said a few things. I didn't say I'm going through transition. I'm going through realization. And purpose is a thing. We think we're doing the right thing, or it is the right thing, whatever at the time. But there's also a word called development and evolving and growing. And sometimes you grow into a thing more than you know. Like I teach photography stuff, I teach music stuff. And I always say, like say for photography, for example, everybody walks with a camera and stops saying, oh, I got it, I got it. And you can't tell them anything because they're looking at the person. They never look at the periphery. I got it. And then I say, you got it right? They go, yeah. I say, get it wrong. Go further. And they go, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. And every step, as far as they're concerned, is the right step. I have got to a point where I was right, and I realized that I have to get it wrong to step back a bit or to decide to really get a measure. And so with my purpose, I'm realizing now, right? Rasta say, and Christian and people say, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. I am at a point now where I need to exist wholeheartedly, fully, and be guided. I am at home. in the world.
Mm.
I am at home in the world.
Beautiful.
I guess if you have little kids and stuff, then you got obligations and stuff, that. But I'm at a stage now where, I give, and I'm now humbling myself to be the recipient, which is the hardest thing. You give, and you make sure, and you want this person to feel, and I give my energy every day, every night. But I've been learning to slow down and be a recipient of what's going out, because it has to come around. Otherwise, you deplete yourself. Adrenaline is my best friend. Well, said by me, yeah.
We see you.
My
We
name's
see you.
Amlak
We see
Tafari.
you.
I fully endorse
We
this
see
message.
you. We see the
Yeah,
adrenaline.
but I'm learning to be a recipient of some of what is going on, and to not be upset if I don't feel that it is coming back the same way. We all have a capacity to say dish out, give out, to share out. We don't all have the same capacity to receive. So the capacity that you have to give, me as a recipient, I'll be like, that is not enough. Oh no, too much. So I'm learning more now to just be the recipient of the goodness. For example, the belly up, Chris, Steve, Griffin, Alexa, big up. You know what I mean? I am allowing goodness to come to me. I'm allowing, just starting to learn. I'm just starting to learn, and I'm trusting in the Most High that it is goodness. So that's where I'm at. It's not hard to go from Birmingham, where I'm strong, to Brooklyn the other day, to Fort Lauderdale the other day, to New Zealand, to Belly Up, where there is love. And I'm fulfilling my purpose, because after a while, it's my purpose that needs to be fulfilled. I need to serve, So it's all good. It's all good. Come to the party, man. Catch your plane. Read you
We
look
might
piggy
have to
bank.
go.
Take out your last $2 and your last. Just come at the party. Come share some love, man. Come. Just come at the party. Belly Up 20th of January, 2025. If you are alive, be there. See ya. ABC.
Thank you, Mr. Amlak Tafari, for the amazing interview.
Yo, thank you very much. You give me an
Yes, sir.
opportunity to express, Thank you.
We will see you Monday, January 20th at the Belly Up. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you very much. To all of us.
Respect.